In 2010, 21 wide receivers were taken in the annual NFL draft. Some would go on to have Hall of Fame-worthy careers. Others would become legends with their respective teams, perennial all-stars that signified an era of dominance. In the later rounds, some great role players would be picked too. And then there's a lot of guys who didn't amount to very much. And then, after all of those guys, with the 195th pick, Antonio Brown was drafted.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Yo. Treat all my asses like Jehovah's Witnesses. Free all the dogs and fuck all the witnesses. They sitting down, we standing on business. I'm tryna fuck all the bitches that look like my ex. I'm making them vex, I'm too complex. I carry a whole lot of gold on my neck. He talking down to get put in a lake. Capo the type to show up to the wake. I'm kicking hard, don't know what to take, don't know what I took. My doggy got booked for acting like Book. He shot him in daylight. I'm tryna fuck all the.
In football, it is very difficult to achieve greatness. Most kids train their entire lives from the moment they're in middle school to play professional football. Of the kids that do train, only 7% are able to play at the collegiate level. Of those that do play collegiately, 1.6% make it to the NFL. It takes an immeasurable amount of time to achieve this dream. 3 years of middle school, 4 of high school, 3 of college, and then, if you're absolutely, positively good enough, then you make it into the NFL. That's at least 10 years of dedication for only a 1% chance of success. Antonio Brown did it in 3. He played quarterback in high school, but AB didn't start playing wide receiver until his freshman year at Central Michigan, a junior college, because it was the only place that would accept him. But despite starting at such a disadvantageous position, he had one thing going for him. He had the drive. His father was a former arena football legend. He saw what athletic success looked like. Furthermore, AB grew up in immense poverty, with a sense of homelessness in high school. If he could make it through that, nothing could stand in his way. AB set records at Central Michigan, a 2-time All-American, and setting the school record for receptions. Not bad for a walk-on. And eventually, that fateful day came. 21 wide receivers were taken before Antonio Brown. Some of them were good players, but the vast, vast majority of them were complete busts. Many thought AB to be just that, a bust. A plethora of concerns were cited in his scouting report. He was too small, he struggled against press coverage, and he was inexperienced for his position. However, what scouts had failed to consider was AB had only played the position for 3 years. The Pittsburgh Steelers agreed, and they traded up to draft him with the 195th pick. And in his very first play, he made an impact.
Pittsburgh and the end around. They bring it on the near side to Antonio Brown. He's got room. Barones to beat him. There he goes. He'll be chased and he is gone. 97 yards. Oh, what a way to start.
Most people would be content here, defying the odds and making it to the NFL, and then scoring a touchdown on their very first play. But to AB, this was nothing. He wanted so much more, because he was still underrated. Going into his rookie training camp, Antonio Brown was competing with a stacked Steelers receiving room. Arnaz Battle, Emmanuel Sanders, Tyler Grisham, Stephon Logan, and Isaiah Williams. Emmanuel Sanders in particular was also a rookie, drafted a few rounds earlier before AB. Sanders was a shorter, faster speedster who was considered a more polished route runner compared to the unproven Brown. Hell, his own offensive coordinator claimed that he wasn't competent enough to play the X. Bottom line, all of this meant Antonio would have to earn the right to get the ball. Despite flashes of greatness his rookie year, AB played sparingly, nothing more than what was expected of a 6th-round pick. It was disappointing. What made it more disappointing was that the Steelers made the Super Bowl that year and lost. AB had one catch. The sting of defeat and desire to keep getting better prompted Antonio to work even harder. That offseason, he trained with some receiver legends in South Florida and put in maximum effort, wanting to be the best he could. But it didn't matter. Come the postseason, it was the same result, different team, losing in spectacular fashion to the first receiver taken in AB's draft class, Demaryius Thomas. Again that offseason, he worked even harder, pushed himself even further, and then he popped.
For Roethlisberger, good block by De Castro. Going deep and looking for Brown. He's got it at the 25. They got it in behind him. Here's a fake spike. Brown, touchdown, Pittsburgh.
I raised myself. I've willed myself in this position. We play football to change our lives. Now finally showing y'all that he's just not a good human.
Roethlisberger dancing, throws to the side. Oh, on you! Back in the world!
Antonio Brown was now the alpha dog, and the identity of his team had changed to reflect that. He wasn't just the alpha of his team. He was an alpha of the league. He had truly separated. Football is a trauma sport. The 2019 NFL season was weird for Antonio Brown. Really weird. Now, I want to begin this part by saying that most, if not all of this information is conjecture. It's a first-hand account of a first-hand account. All I'm saying is that we don't know the full story of every little thing that happened this year, and we likely never will. So, here are the highlights. It begins on March 9th. The Steelers, tired of infighting between AB and quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, are forced to choose between the two. They choose the QB and trade Antonio Brown to the Oakland Raiders for a 3rd and 5th round pick. Just like that, he's gone. The Raiders immediately made Antonio Brown the highest paid receiver in the NFL, $50 million, 3 years, $30 million guaranteed. Due to the trade and how guaranteed money works, the contract will go into effect at the start of next season, after the first game. For a few months, all was seemingly going good. Social media posts there, nice press conference here. Raiders head coach John Gruden had nothing but overwhelmingly nice things to say. August 3rd, our first hiccup. Antonio Brown accidentally cooks his feet in a cryotherapy session, which forces him to miss all of training camp. August 9th, AB finds out that the NFL has banned his helmet and threatens to retire after a back and forth that is just... But eventually, it's settled. September 4th, AB is fined $50,000 for unexcused absences by GM Mike Mayock. AB responds by posting the fine letter on Instagram and calling Mayock a cracker at the practice next day. Then, he punted a football into the street and said, "Find me for that." September 7th, AB is cut from the Raiders, just a few hours before his new contract's guaranteed money would have gone into effect. He loses it all. But hey, he's free.
The Raiders free! Bro.
Ring ring, it's the GOAT, and he's on a quest for his 7th ring and wants a new weapon in New England. So on the same day, Antonio Brown signs with the Patriots on a 1-year deal. September 15th, AB plays in his first game of the season for the Patriots, catching a touchdown pass from Tom Brady. September 20th, Antonio Brown is cut by the Patriots following further allegations of misconduct. And by week 4 of 2019, the NFL found itself in the extremely odd position of having its best wide receiver not be on a team. It stayed that way for the rest of the year. It's 2022. We're in the middle of a global pandemic, and Antonio Brown is sitting on his couch serving an 8-game suspension for the previous year's misdeeds. The suspension doesn't matter though, as he's not currently signed to a team to be suspended from. Then, like a beacon of light from the heavens above, ring ring, it's the GOAT, again. Still on the quest for his 7th ring, he needs another weapon in Tampa Bay to join the elite receiving corps of Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Gronk. So join AB did. He played good. They won the Super Bowl. He did it. He was a champion. I say it like this because this should be the peak of any guy's NFL career, winning the Super Bowl. But honestly, it wasn't. It wasn't statistically, it wasn't performance-wise, it just wasn't. Like I said, everyone knows how this story ends. The 2021 NFL season was weird for Antonio Brown. Really weird. Now, I want to begin this part by saying that most, if not all of this information is...
That's the bad guy.
I did what was best for me. You know what I mean? That's the simple fact of what it is. If you have a trauma, that's what my therapist tell me. If I have a trauma or a trigger, I'm gonna walk away. I didn't do nothing wrong. I took off my equipment and took off my shirt, waved to the fans of the people that love me and walked away. That's what my therapist advised me to do when I'm, you know what I mean? I get therapy. CTSPN is real. We gotta be able to talk to somebody unattached that help us with our spirit. So when I'm dealing with a lot of traumas that you guys might not understand, you know, everybody in the world, they just see the stuff that happened, the big viral moment. You know what I mean? They just focus right here, but it's a lot of things that lead up to people's traumas that make them be in that position.
Football is a trauma sport, but trauma isn't always just too many hits to the head or concussions. It also comes from the moments growing up, overcoming adversities like homelessness, even navigating work relationships, where your ability is doubted and opportunities prevented. So here we are, at the end of a story we all know. Antonio Brown officially retired from football in 2024. His career, whatever one makes of it, is officially over. But what does one make of it? Blindly looking at the stat sheet, there's no question what you do with someone who's had this kind of career. You put them in the Hall of Fame. But we all know that isn't going to happen, because the Hall of Fame, like life, isn't just about resume. Image comes with it as well, because it's also about one's class and professionalism. So I'll close with this. AB was not just an athlete or a persona or a head case. Antonio Brown was a professional who composed incredible work on the field and worked his ass off to earn it. Despite any obstacles in his way, AB was able to bring himself to the biggest stage and shine, oftentimes in spite of his personal struggles. His greatness was no accident, but greatness is a pursuit, a continuous motion to achieve. As Antonio Brown no longer plays football, so his identity and perspective of what it is will have to change too. It is no doubt a great obstacle for any professional athlete, let alone him.